is still standing there. That short bridge, no longer than 20 meters, obviously, is there to give motorists access to the faculty village. Opet was one of those motorists. He was 19 at that time, a junior in college. He was living with his aunt, a professor, in one of the houses rented by the newer faculty members in the university. He didn't like it a bit. He'd rather live on his own, get an apartment, a studio type 1, which he could turn into a bachelor's pad. But his mother wouldn't hear of it. Baka mag-uwi ka lang ng babae.
He usually told him. That was his problem. He wanted a pad of his own so that he may spend the night with his girlfriend or any girl for that matter. As a frat man, Opet tried to fit into the stereotype deliciously. He had a huge build, had been a gym buff for a couple of months now. He frequented bars and tried to have an image as a playboy. He had 3 girlfriends at that time and was in search for a 4th one. He tried looking for a 4th girlfriend at the most popular bar near the campus. He was playing billiards, trying to impress the girls who were rather flirty. But it was not his night. He kept losing to other guys, but in the billiard game and the girl chased. It was almost 3 in the morning when he decided to head home. He knew his aunt who had once again fell on him, and he knew his mother would berate him once more. Still a little tipsy, he rode his motorcycle.
Are you sure you can go home alone, Brot? One of his fraternity brothers asked him. It's a bit dark there at the faculty village, and you'll be passing that bridge. That bridge? Opet said. Doesn't scare me. But it becomes longer and longer until you lose our mind. Opet sighed. For a frat man, you are one big coward, he replied. I've been passing that bridge for 3 years now. I know that bridge, and it doesn't become longer and longer and longer. He headed home. It was rather a chilly night and really dark. He'd been used to going home late at night, had actually prepared himself that very night. He was clad in his favorite black leather jacket, but for some reason he felt as if the coldness of the night was crawling on his skin. He felt goosebumps starting to form. He was about to approach the bridge when he saw an image. It was a lady in white. Her hair was black and long. Who could see her floating. So you brought the cold air with you, Opet muttered. Well, here we go, you ghost. He had his motorcycle run through the white lady. She was staring at him as his motorcycle was approaching her. The air became colder and colder as he went nearer and nearer to the white lady. When he finally collided with the white lady, he felt as if his whole body was engulfed in a giant block of ice. It was really cold, so cold that he thought his hands went numb as they were clutching the handle tightly. He sped. When he finally got to the white lady, he looked back. He didn't see her. He started to laugh. Ha ha ha! How's that? I survived the white lady. He steadied his gaze at the end of the bridge ahead. Now what? He asked himself. He could see the bridge, but it seemed as if he was nowhere near reaching it. Oh, so you wanna play games? He thought. He looked at the gas meter. It was still a bit full. This may sustain me till daybreak. He continued speeding with his motorcycle. He was constantly looking at the sky, waiting for the sun to peak. When the air became colder once more, he was glad. The early morning peak of coldness, he thought. After this, it will start to get warm. Morning is fast approaching. When the sun finally started to peak, Puppet was relieved. He could see the end of the bridge now more clearly, and he could sense that he was fast nearing it. Wait till my brothers will hear this, he excitedly thought. I survived the White Lady, and this never-ending bridge, I must survive. Finally, he reached the end of the bridge. He was screaming wildly as his motorcycle left the bridge. Daybreak was filling up the place. Puppet could see the entrance of the faculty village, but it was still cold. It became even colder than when he was still on the bridge. Maybe it would rain, he thought. He gave out a little chill. He felt as if the cold air was concentrating on his back. He shivered. His right shoulder was feeling more cold than the rest of his body. He shivered again. His chest was now feeling colder. He thought he was having a heart attack. But I wasn't frightened, he convinced himself. He felt the same block of ice engulfing his body when he passed through the White Lady. But this time around, he could only feel its coldness concentrated on his back, his right shoulder, and his chest. He looked at his hands. They were actually sweating. He wiped his palms one by one on his pants. His arms felt a little sticky, and his leg could feel those fleeting drops of sweat. He unzipped his leather jacket. He took a second look at his chest. There was something white on his jaw, he thought. He tried to remember if he wiped his hand on his shirt when he was playing billiards after those times of scratching the billiard stick with chalk. But the white formation on his chest was too huge to just be chalk stains. He wiped it. His hand felt something. There was something protruding from his chest. He felt it again. It was solid, cold. He tried to pull it. It was an arm. He felt being embraced by a block of ice from behind. He looked over his shoulder. There was a face, the White Lady. He screamed as the White Lady embraced him tightly. He was entering the faculty village at daybreak, and suddenly it became dark once more. Pitch black darkness. In the darkness, his motorcycle's headlight showed him in the end of the short bridge. He was back on the bridge at Faculty Village. With the White Lady on his back, he lost control of the motorcycle, fell off the bridge. He was found that same morning. He lived to tell his tale. He did survive. He never rode a motorcycle again. He never went back to Faculty Village, and he never forgot to mention to anyone at all what happened to him on that bridge. He never bragged about it. How could he? According to him, just thinking about that experience makes him feel cold on his back, his chest, and his right shoulder.